All right, everyone, it's time for yet another great episode of Between Two Succulents. Here's your host, me. Hey, guys. Welcome to yet another episode of Between Two Succulents right here at Charm City Books. Great to see you again. Great to have you in the space. Great to be having this conversation with somebody that I am a big time fan of. You know them, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about them. They are an award-winning Black non-binary writer, author, activist, and has written for major outlets including Teen Vogue, Entertainment Tonight, NBC, The Root, Buzzfeed, Essence, Ebony, Them, and the Grio. Truly all the top heavy hitters, I'm saying. In 2019, they were awarded a Salute of Excellence Award by the National Association of Black Journalists for their article When Racism Anchors Your Health in Vice magazine. And in 2020, they were recently named the Root's 100 Most Influential African Americans. Their debut young adult memoir, All Boys Aren't Blue, major hit. It was also amazing. Everyone, please welcome to the show, Geroge M. Johnson. George, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me here.
Awesome. So we're going to be talking with George about their latest YA memoir, We Are Not Broken. You might have been one of the thousands of people who have already fallen in love with them because of All Boys Aren't Blue, or maybe you just caught on Instagram recently and you saw their tributes to all of the best music artists in honor of also their newest release, We Are Not Broken. I did peep that. You did kill it. I loved it. But we are going to get to know George a little bit better in a segment that we like to call Aw Sucks. So George, here's how it goes. I'm going to introduce to you our succulent VIPs for this week, and you're going to tell me which one that you think that Raul and Rasul would have been in the most trouble for knocking over in one of their infamous brotherly fights. Okay. Are you ready to play?
I'm ready.
All right, let's go for it. So first off, we are going to introduce you to the Fairies Washboard. The Fairies Washboard is a charming, complex succulent plant native to southern Africa, and it features a rosette of angular leaves. These distinct ridges resemble the texture of a washboard, given the common name, the Fairies Washboard. The plant produces flowers in the summertime, but they're not all that showy. So that's going to be our first option for the day, the Fairies Washboard. Second, we have the String of Buttons. Now, the String of Buttons is a shrub succulent. It grows well indoors and does well in terrariums. The triangle-shaped leaves grow opposite of each other and spiral around the stem, causing it to look stacked. The gray-green leaves may have a pinkish tint to the edges if given enough light. Look for yellow flowers in the spring. So, George, which one would you pick?
And I'm picking a succulent based off of Raul and Rasul, or
just you pick whichever one is your favorite at the end of the day.
Oh, it would be the hanging one.
The hanging one?
Yeah, the hanging.
Cool. That's the String of Buttons, everybody.
String of buttons. Yes.
Yeah. All right, yeah, that's just our little icebreaker, John, that we like to do around here. But now we're going to get to what is always my favorite part, which is talking to you about the book. So let's get into it. Much like All Boys Aren't Blue, I personally found so many connections to your story, specifically your connection with Nanny, because my Nana, I have a Nana, is definitely one of my best friends, and I am, listen, it's not a question, I am absolutely the favorite, okay? I don't want to hear nothing from anybody else. Out of all the gems that your Nanny dropped, which is also sort of how you sort out and structure the book, honestly, with those little gems that she dropped. Which one of those gems would you say is the most important lesson that you personally learned from her?
That's a good one. I would say the most important one, or at least the one that I listen to the most now, is Scared Money Don't Make Money, and it's a sad rabbit that only got one hole. especially the It's a Sad Rabbit That Only Got One Hole. That one right now has been the most important in my life as I think about what the expansion of my writing should be. Not letting it just stop at All Boys Aren't Blue, but really thinking about what does it look like to have a canon, right? Like All Boys Aren't Blue is doing amazing and it has done so many amazing things, but it would just be sad if that's where I stopped. Right. But that was my only hole. And I just kept going with that one book. Right. I have so many other avenues and ways to tell a story, like a dramatic reading, like television, like all of these different things. And so that saying to me is always sitting in the back of my head, attached to Scared Money Don't Make Money, because I go into a lot of projects now and, it's nervous, like, because you're putting your art out for the world to critique. But like she always says, scared money don't make money. So, don't be scared, put it out there, put your money on the table and, go out there and make it into something even greater.
Yeah, listen, that, I think that might be a lesson I got from just watching the men in my family do their thing, because no one ever had less than one job. And then naturally, Black women carry 3 jobs naturally just for being a Black woman, I feel.
Right.
But no, like those definitely hit home for me too, because I've always been a multiple job type of person, and I've always scared money don't make money, and I'm trying to make money. So it's like, well, guys, saddle up, you gotta do it. Yeah, but awesome. I love it. And you touch now. You get so personal in this one, and I think for me it's because it really does. We Are Not Broken really takes place over possibly the most fundamental years of almost any child, but specifically Black males. You touch on things that are passed on as if they were actual family heirlooms. So you cover things such as corporal punishment, as well as family functions, as well as the thickness of blood versus water. And I feel it's safe to say that a majority of Black people have experienced like these in these eras, but arguably, but the experience in it is so personal and or traumatic that they choose often to process it in a less public way, if at all, if we're being honest. So my question is, what was the writing process like for you with this particular book when it came to like truly being this vulnerable?
Yeah, this book comes from a very different place than All Boys Aren't Blue came from. All Boys Aren't Blue is, my story on a micro level. I feel like We Are Not Broken is more the macro story, as well as like shared storytelling. So, it was storytelling of my mom and of my uncles and of my aunts and of my cousins and of my brother. And we all got to play a role in writing this book together. I think this book, helped us. Primarily, it was coming from a place of grief. We had just lost my grandmother when I started really writing this book. And so this, in fact, then became a love letter to her and to all of the attributing her with all of my successes, all of our family successes. Also, wanting to talk about the many wisdoms and thoughts and things that she had left behind in this world that, need to continue on. And so, yeah, in writing this book, that was the place that it really came from. It was a communal experience to write because I was pulling from different resources of family members in order to do this. So this isn't just, my brainchild. It really is my family being vulnerable with the world to honor a Black woman who, essentially gave us everything and set us up for generational wealth beyond money.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a point right there. Generational wealth beyond money. Because I think, I'm not gonna take too much time on that subject, because I think naturally as a people pursue financial security and often forget that wealth is a multidimensional term. And I'm grateful. I'm glad that you had that opportunity to be raised by somebody that was able to pass that on to you and your brother and your cousins. Thank you, George, for being so honest and forward with us in the entirety of your book, not just in this moment here. You've created a book that truly highlights the humanity of growing up Black and male presenting. So I think personally that you're a great champion for our next segment that we like to call the lightning round. So how the lightning round works is I'm going to ask you 3 questions regarding your book. And for all
Mhm.
of you out there watching us on StreamYard, Facebook, YouTube, where have you, if you chime in and comment on all 3 questions, you can qualify to win the prize of all the prizes, a free copy of We Are Not Broken by George M. Johnson. All right, George, are you ready to play the lightning round?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. All right, question number 1. Why is it a no-no to try a new recipe on a major holiday?
um, it is an absolute no-no to try a new recipe on a major holiday, like my grandmother did when she put orange flavoring in the candy yams because she saw Martha Stewart that did it. When you go into a holiday, like you expect food to taste like food is supposed to taste. You already have built up in your mind what that food tastes like, especially when you have your favorite dishes that are made by people. So, you know, if you want to test out new recipes, please do it on an individual day, a regular day, a regular Wednesday, but do not do it at Thanksgiving or Christmas or any other major holiday when people are coming there expecting the food to taste like the food that they know that you make.
Exactly. Exactly. Like it was so funny because literally my grandma did it was flavoring in the candies. And like, so now I'm like, okay, it's just like, did we all watch Pauline or Ina Garden or whoever, and like they all just say we should go for it? Because it was awful. No, it was definitely not good. But
Yes.
okay, great. We're gonna move on to question number 2. What is what would you say is the greatest value to the term brotherhood?
You know, I think the greatest value to the term brotherhood really is friendship. I think friendship as well as kinship. You know, and I think it's like it's communal, right? Like I think like even when you look at like brotherhood, like whether I'm talking about Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, whether I'm talking about my House of Garcon family, it's really about community first, right? And it's really about what does a supportive community look like for people who have many of the same oppressions as you and marginalizations as you, and how do we, you know, come together in a way that uplifts and supports one another without breaking one another down or tearing one another down. And so, yeah, I really think that those are all of the elements to having, you know, a great brotherhood. Brotherhood isn't a monolith. I don't think it doesn't look the same. We all don't walk the same walks of life. And so, yeah, I think it's about recognizing that it's not a monolith and, you know, we all look different, but we all fit, you know, we all can fit under the tent together and enjoy one another and support one another and love one another.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. And shout out to Garcon. Yeah, they're amazing. Just look them up if you don't know anything about them. You can also watch them on Legendary. Yes, great. But if you don't just stop at Legendary, please keep going. Anyway, great. Question number 3. What do you hope non-Black readers take away from your book?
Oh, what do I hope non-Black readers take away from my book? I hope they take away accountability for the role that they play in the destruction and oppression of our lives. I hope that they take away the understanding of what advocacy looks like when you are non-Black and what it doesn't look like. And I hope that they take away an understanding of what spending their privilege looks like and what equity looks like and how they have to lose power in order for us to be equitable in society, you know, along with other people who are non-Black.
Yeah. Well, there you have it, everybody. And with that is the winner of our lightning round. We appreciate you for playing around with us today. And yet again, Miss Heather Kangas is the winner of the free copy of the book We Are Not Broken by Geroge M. Everybody's word. We're giving away free material here, and it's all great because I picked the artist. Thank you so much, George. I really had a great time talking with you. But before we let you go, what's next for you? Are we working on book number 3? Are we going on a vacation? What's next?
I wish I was going on a vacation. I am working on book number 3. I just got the edit letter back this morning for it, so I have a lot of work to do. But I'm working on book number 3, which is another nonfiction book that'll dive a little bit into slavery from my perspective, though, with me writing letters to the ancestors. From where we are now, talking about who they were to us and, kind of mixing in some cool, imaginative thoughts and feelings into it. I have a middle grade book that will come out in 2023 that I'm currently drafting. And I have a television show in development with Sony and Gabrielle Union for All Boys Aren't Blue. And things are going really, really well with that. And the dramatic reading is doing really well at film festivals. And we're hoping to have it acquired so that we can have a television debut for it, or a proper debut for it.
Wow, so you busy is what you're saying.
Yes, booked and busy.
I love it though. I love it. Hello, book blessed and busy for sure.
Yes.
I'm definitely looking forward to that TV series. I hope it transcends the standard narrative of the book was better. I think the book was great, but hopefully it matches its energies at least. I wish that all the best for sure. Do you want to take this moment to special causes or organizations?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, like my mom, she actually just started an organization called the Phoenix Foundation. She just started it, launched it on Sunday, and it's about brain aneurysm awareness. If you've read All Boys Aren't Blue, then I talked about my mom having 2 brain aneurysms and surviving. And so she still is a survivor of that. And now she is doing the work so that more Black people understand what brain aneurysms are, how they happen, how to prevent them, and to get more research around them, because they do happen a lot to Black people, and we, haven't really fully, there's not enough information about it for our community. And so she's doing that work. Yeah. So yeah, the Phoenix Foundation, spelled Phenix. Yeah, so stay tuned for that from my mom. She's out here doing the work.
Yes, I love that shout out. Yes, I'm all about mental health, but like literal brain health, specifically when it comes to, because so many, several of them have been affected or the like, and it's just there's just not enough that we know about the brain in general. So please support the Phoenix Foundation if you can. Thank you again, George, for spending the time with us. Geroge M. Johnson has created a 3-dimensional perspective for Black Boy Joy, and I highly suggest that you grab yourself a copy right here at Charm City Books. George, thank you again for spending the time. Thank you. I really feel honored and appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And thank you all for braving the wilds. Yes, thank you. It was great. And thank you all for braving the wilds of social media to be here with us yet again, another Tuesday. Two Succulents. I'm Brandon Rashad Butts, your friendly neighborhood bookseller. Please stay masked up, for we're not quite out of this yet, but we're almost there. If you're in school, study hard, drink plenty of water. It's still a little hot, and we're going to see y'all next week. Take care. Come on. Move faster.